Gotta get on my reading voice. Good, thank you. Yeah, we're going to continue reading. We're on the dissolution of clerical culture. In Comfort My People. We started this as a full read yesterday. Good, thank you. At this tenuous moment in salvation history, any discussion of pastoral psychology must begin with those persons who are called by the Holy Spirit to serve the people of God as pastors. The ministers of the church are caught in the great rolling wave of renewal and are being washed ashore on new and uncharted shorelines. Everywhere, priests are bobbing about in the tides, looking for friendly lights and saving rescue lines. Feeling washed overboard from their secure stations on the ship of Peter, some wonder if they were ever meant to be seamen in the first place. They cannot walk the waters, and Christ does not calm the storm for them. They are swimming, some for the first time, unassisted, and this is a good thing. It is healthy because they are struggling against forces that had not previously challenged them. The questions that filled their minds as long as they slog ashore range from how did I get into this life to how do I get out of it? The priests of the church wonder about their identity and function, and the answers do not come easily. The important point is that they are actively struggling with these basic problems and that they are tapping unsuspected strengths of their own in the process. As long as this is true, they are not quite as lost as they may seem in this unfamiliar and uncomforting new environment. The present crisis for priests finds them unsure themselves, but they are, at least, vitally engaged in trying to understand their identity and their work of ministry. So many are just reiterating that the unfamiliar and uncomforting new environments can be physical and mental. They usually go hand in hand, but it can also be a revelation, enlightenment, they call it, sure. Seeing something, someone in a new light, a new meaning. Correct. The cloak stories, sure, that goes into that same kind of realm. They have been forced to look into themselves and at the style of their life. This is not unlike the experience of the Protestant ministry earlier in this century. It is, of course, an extremely threatening experience because shorn, S-H-O-R-N. It is, of course, an extremely threatening experience because shorn of formally clearly defined functions, they must dig into their own personal resources to respond to the situation. They can no longer depend on an organizational structure of Catholicism to tell them exactly who they are and what they are expected to do in the service of the organization. Their own persons are exposed as they never have been before, and while this is distinctly uncomfortable, it is also exhilarating. Much of what is happening to them is not well understood. They tend, in fact, to think the epic transformation of the church means the disintegration of the priesthood itself. Thus, there are those who question the very existence of non-episcopal priesthood. Could not a lay person do what I do, and in many cases do it better? Is a hauntingly familiar current question. Others respond by trying to reaffirm or reinforce a former structure of priestly life. When will things get back to normal? They ask, and the answer, of course, is never. It's always never. What is occurring is not, in my opinion, the disintegration of the priesthood as much as the disintegration of a form of clerical culture which had been dangerously over identified with the priesthood itself. This requires explanation. In the United States, a whole pattern of priestly life is being recognized and reorganized. This is extremely confusing phenomenon, especially for those who are experiencing it, but not a disastrous one. It was in fact predictable, and it is, in essence, hopeful. The lifestyle for priests in America developed along with Catholicism, and it is being transformed as American Catholicism is transformed. The traditions of priestly life in the New World have always placed the point in an important and at times dominant relationship with his people. He was a leader, a shepherd to an underprivileged flock anxious to maintain and protect its faith in a newfound land. The priest was, for a long time, the best educated person in the Christian community, the majority of whose members were just getting a handhold on the lowest rung of the social and economic ladders. The priest was a figure of authority to whom people accustomed to European authoritarian environments both instinctively and necessarily turned for guidance and support. Indeed, American priests found many battles for the basic civil rights of their people. Long before Selma, they doggedly marched and protested for the dignity of their struggling immigrant flocks. Beyond that, they interacted with them in a whole range of needs, from settling strikes to helping them fill out their citizenship papers. It is a rich tradition. The American priest and the American Catholic people, a relationship far closer than that of priest and people in Europe. The early American priest won the respect that was given to him. The hats that are tipped to us today are a salute to these long-dead clergymen. The priests enjoyed prestige and power in the rather closed Catholic ethnic communities that constituted the patchwork entity of the American church. The Catholic family that could give a son or daughter to the church enjoyed a satisfying mixture of pride and achievement. The son and daughter so given generally improved their status as they moved into the pleasantly warm limelight of Catholic approval and admiration. The Catholic culture was somewhat self-contained within the American landscape, and it gladly gave reverence and privilege to its highly prized clerical sons and religious daughters. The closed quality of the Catholic world in the United States may seem, from our perspective, to have placed the clergy on a pedestal with a disdain for reality known only by dreamy idealists. In any case, the end result was the emergence of the priesthood as a profession of great influence and dignity. Priests were respected for their sacrifice and their service, and this presented an admirable vocational idea which proved highly attractive to qualified young men. They did more than fulfill a desire to serve the church when they entered the ranks of the clergy. They also found one of the few avenues of higher education and cultural development then available to Catholics. They also, whether they were motivated by it or not, entered a system that offered security, if not affluence, and the warm affection of the Catholic people. The insular nature of the Catholic presence in America developed a structure which understandably produced a healthy supply of vocations. The priests arose from the Catholic culture that acclaimed them and went back to provide attractive models of the priestly life for other young men to follow. The life of the priest, like his training, tended to reinforce his separate and chosen character. He was removed from the world as an uncut diamond from the encrusting earth, underwent a careful course of preparation and polishing, and at last was reinserted in the splendid new setting of clerical life. The development of a priestly class was an inevitable occurrence. The priest was expected to be apart from the Catholic people in many ways. He was unmarried, he was presumed to be a model of holiness, and he was properly of the class that seemed in some way or other to have proprietary rights to the Roman Catholic Church. There are relics of this separated clerical life still extant. The priesthood is referred to as a league. The defecting priest identified as one who has jumped the league. The 40 hours celebration won appropriated gatherings for priests who could see each other but seldom or splendid social affairs, whose high spirits. They're just laughing because I got a frog in my throat when I said jumped the league. Hot. It's just a funny coincidence. It doesn't. A priest was advised to make his. Why is it so funny? A priest was advised to make his to make his friends with his brother priests and to maintain a certain distance or even aloofness from the laity. Great emphasis was put on such things as class, loyalty, so that all the members of the same ordination group looked especially to one another for friendship and support. Vacations and other recreations were taken together, and all this was considered appropriate and healthy. The clergy needed this kind of support, especially in the less Catholic areas of the country. It is even understandable in the great metropolitan centers where the Catholic enterprise flourished. Cheers. Just plain water at the moment. Yes, good, thank you. Yeah, did you get the strawberry coconut? It's good, huh? I think that's really, really yummy. Probably get that one again, yeah. Yeah, probably Actually, we can pause there, I guess. We'll finish this chapter later. Good, thank you. I did, I saw that. Yeah, it looked like people were heading back about an hour ago. Probably. I saw a headline thingy that said people were kind of gathering for was it the terrorist things? I have no idea. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have our Star Wars toy. I'm going to open this and see what's in it. It's a surprise. I don't know. It's a Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 7. What's it gonna be? Any guesses? These are cute. And it has a little car. Does he go in the car? These are cute. I got it at Walmart. Put it with the collection. Good, thank you. Yes, thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? We're here. For what was our ghetto crock pot recipe? We do ghetto crock pot recipes. For this week, the winning one, which we're making today, is really good. You take veggie ground and you put it in the crock pot with a little bit of, we like to use coconut oil. You can use olive oil, butter, whatever you want. A coconut and olive oil blend is nice. So anyways, you take the oil, you turn, those little crock pots are awesome, aren't they? They're about, I think, was it $10 or 15? $10 or $15 at Walmart. Those little crock pots. You can do a lot with those. Anyways, so you take the oil and you put it into the crock pot, put it on high, put in some of your veggie ground, let that cook. And then in our Ninja blender, the Ninja blender is so awesome. Coffee grounds really good, doesn't it? It does a great job. Coffee beans, sorry, yes. And so then after the oil and then the veggie ground and then the veggie ground cooks, in your Ninja, you make a broccoli soup. We like to do a broccoli soup. You can really do anything you want. That's a really good idea too. Someone did that. You do that, the oil with the veggie ground, and then instead of broccoli, you can use just the nuts with a little bit of the creamy oat. Yes, you blend that up, and you keep it kind of thick and mix that in with the cooked veggie ground and oil, and they use it as a nacho dip. It's actually really good. Yeah, they put some spices in it too. Garlic, turmeric, salt, pepper, stuff like that. It's really good. It's very yummy. It feels so fancy. It's totally ghetto and expensive. Mow down. I know, right? You feel like you're being naughty and you're eating all these yummy, healthy things with medicinal benefits. It's just so fun and it feels so good. It is, yes. Awesome. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? We're here. Much love, health, and peace off. Thank you.